to waive financing or not. Our legal eagle says
Maybe.
this episode. I'm really Mary.
Really, Mary?
So Peter Huy Jacob, PA, is here today to talk about whether you should or should not waive your financing contingency here in Southwest Florida. So the answer was maybe. I heard it.
Still going to be maybe.
So tell us.
Well, the issue that you have here is you're in a seller's market, and if your financing contingency date runs, the seller has the ability to terminate the contract. If, it's a lengthy closing date and the market has gone up significantly, the seller may wish to do that, whether you like it as a buyer or not. The other times that we see this is where the seller is demanding that you waive the financing contingency. Ultimately, it's a risk. It's a risk that a buyer will have to decide on their own.
Ultimately, it is a risk, Peter, from that perspective, because what if I get to the end and I can't get financing? Then what do I do?
Correct. So let's talk about mitigating that risk.
Yeah.
Number one is up front with your real estate agent, who should be attempting at least to run your financing contingency through the closing date so that this just doesn't happen. Number two, you need a backup plan. If you've got a short closing date and there's a possibility that you will not have a loan, what are your backup plans? Do you have cash reserves? Can you liquidate? Can you borrow on your 401k and refinance after to pay it back? These are all options, but they're only real options if you think about them beforehand.
Right. And at the end of the day, if you waive it and you can't close and I don't have options, then what?
Your deposit's at risk. You could potentially lose your deposit.
So it is a very important topic that you need to think about from a standpoint of how are you going to put that offer in? How many days do you have? What does that look like? And how all that financing and money is going to come together. And
also, what does your loan look like? I mean, do you know if you're going to have a complex loan? Do you have multiple LLCs? Are you self-employed? All of these things are hurdles and things that require time for your lender to figure out and to give you the approval necessary for the loan. Just be mindful of that.
Not all loans are the same, and not all people applying for the loan are the same. So
have a backup plan, number one, and number two, try to build in as much time as possible if you think there's going to be an issue with your loan.
And then the next episode, I'm Mary Bartos, the Bartos Group of Premier Plus Realty, here with
Peter Huy.
Huy Jacob, PA. We look forward to seeing you here, putting offers in Southwest Florida with a loan.